definitely let you know.
Awesome. All right.
Oh, wait, boop.
There we go.
There we go. Not too sure who this parent is. It's coming from an iPhone. I would like my kids to be dropped off by busing in the morning, but would like to pick them up myself in the evening. Is this a possibility? Because I know busing will be available for going home only at 3, but I would like them to be there until 5.
Absolutely. So I will say elementary goes till 6, but middle school, we do not have any staff after 4 p.m. So if you are going to pick your students up, it has to be at 4 p.m., but you are welcome to have them bus in and then stay for the entire program until you are able to pick them up. But at 4 p.m., they have to go home.
How do we sign up our son for busing?
That is a great question. And a question that actually I will write down and follow up with the principal about because I don't know. But I do believe that it is only extended to the families of IS 30 parents. So essentially, if your students have been bused this school year, they should be on that same list. But I don't believe that that same privilege is extended to students who did not go to IS 30. But I will ask about that and send that out when I send out this video.
Another question is, hi, I understand for elementary pickup time is 6. Can we pick them up earlier?
Absolutely. If you would like to pick your students up earlier, you are welcome to do so. You just can't keep them later than the end of the day.
All classes in person. Irving, I can answer this for you. Yes, they are.
Yes. So this is an entirely in-person program. The DOE wants us to get back into the habit of being in the building for all of its services.
Is it fine for if my son misses afternoon activities some days as in attending a sports camp? Deborah, by all means, if you have prior engagements and you have signed up elsewhere to do certain activities, that's fine with us. I believe the only thing that we would need from you is just a heads up. Just let us know that your child won't be attending that day or they're leaving early.
Yeah, since we are at capacity in this program, it's very helpful to know when students will not be there so we can maybe allow other students to come in during those days. But in general, your students are always allowed to leave early if they have a note or they're allowed to be picked up with no note required. But we'd love a heads up if we can get one.
Can students take their cell phone with them to class?
I will not speak for the morning, but I know that we prefer that the students don't have their phones around, but obviously if there are emergencies, they're welcome to keep them around. So I'm not really going to let students be on their phones or play with them unless we have a free period. But if students need to have a cell phone on them, they're welcome to keep it in their backpack. And if they need it to, on and loud for emergencies in case something happens, that's completely allowed.
So our next question kind of goes into the elementary realm. This parent knows that her middle school children has been accepted, but she's not too sure about if her other child got accepted into elementary just yet.
Got you. I will say it is very likely that your child has not been accepted into elementary. As I mentioned before, our waiting list for elementary is longer than the actual list of students we have enrolled. But you're welcome to follow up with Mrs. Stefania, who is in charge of the elementary program, with more information about that. Mrs. Stefania, if you would like actually on this call, you're welcome to type it in your email address so that if parents have any elementary questions, they can come to you.
Hi, yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stefania. I am the program coordinator for elementary. As of now, our program is fully enrolled. We do have a very large waiting list. We did get a very couple amount of open slots just now from DYCD. So we are filling them up from the kids on the wait list. You should all be hearing back from me within a week or so about your child's application status. But yes, you should be hearing back. If you do have any questions or any concerns, I will be putting my email and you are free to just email me. My responses may take a while, but I will get back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm actually going to pause with questions right now because I want to make sure that I get through the rest of the agenda, and then I'm happy to open it up to questions. So for meals, breakfast, lunch, and an afternoon snack will be provided for every single student. So if you are worried about bringing food to the school, don't worry about it. You are not required to. However, students sometimes get tired of the school food. So if you would like, students are welcome to bring food as long as it does not contain nuts. We are an absolutely no nut school because we do have students who are severely allergic. Which brings me to other forms of COVID safety. I apologize, the trips question mark is more for me than for you. So for safety, we are still going to be using masks the entire summer. I know that when it is 105 degrees, I am not going to be happy about it either, but we are going to keep masks on for the entire summer as long as the DOE tells us to. Students will remain 3 feet apart for the entirety of the program and 6 feet apart when their masks are off for any meal times. Each staff member will be carrying around a bag full of PPE, and that will include hand sanitizer, wipes, gloves, and extra masks. We also have a small emergency room full of PPE in our office, so I doubt that we will run out. But we also have a nurse on staff, and me and Mrs. Stefania and all of the other administrators are all going to be recertified for CPR and first aid, so we are fully equipped for anything that happens. We will also be randomly testing your students. All of you consented to having your students be tested for COVID-19. Unfortunately, we cannot waver on that. There are parents who have said, but my student is vaccinated, why do they need to be tested? We just need that consent to make sure that there is no case of COVID at all in the building. It's been proven that even if a student is vaccinated, they could potentially carry the virus, and we just don't want to take any risks, given that this is the first time we're really fully opening up the school again. So again, for any contact information, y'all are all welcome to call me at the school. The office number is the school's number, 718-491-8440, extension 6091. The program cell phone number, which I will be taking home with me, but I may not respond to outside of business hours, is 347-971-2328. And my email address is sam.nia.is30@gmail.com. Also, for transparency, I will be taking a vacation. Once the school is out, there will be about a week between school and summer camp. I will have the NIA phone on me, but I will probably not be very responsive. So if you have questions, this week is a great time to ask it. Next week is a great time to ask it. But the week after that, I will be a little bit less accessible. That's going to be starting June 28th until July 3rd. All right, so now that all of that is there, do we have any more additional questions? I'm sure we do.
We definitely do. So we are so unsure about trips, but Kim, I'm thinking like we're doing trips to the park, but anything other than that, I'm sure like we have to coordinate and plan because COVID is still around.
I can
iPhone.
do the trips, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're not going to be doing anything that requires an indoor transportation. We will never be taking the subway. We will never be taking a bus. We will hopefully be able to take walking trips, but our ratio is 1 to 5 when we are outside of the building, and our ratio is 1 to 15 inside of the building. We definitely have the staff for 1 to 15. We don't necessarily have the staff for 1 to 5. So we also need to be, we're continuing to hire every single day. I also want to give everyone a heads up. I don't have a premium Zoom account. This meeting will end in 9.5 minutes. So if you would like to, if you've got all your questions answered by the time we get kicked off, you are welcome to go. But if you still have questions, I'm going to hop back onto the Zoom and you can ask your questions there. You can just log off and then log right back on if you still have questions. Ms. Brown, any other questions?
So I think we need a little more clarification. For this one, parent said, what did he mean when kids have to be picked up by 4? Which staff won't be there after 4?
Okay.
So it goes back to the question that I asked earlier about busing. I didn't understand when you said that they have to be picked up by 4.
So
because there's no staff available after 4.
yeah, so technically my day is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I know I will be going past those hours. I'm sure that kids will come in a little bit earlier, though. Please do not drop your kids off before 8 a.m. And I know that parents are sometimes going to be a little bit late. So, but after 4 p.m., there is no middle school staff at all. All of the staff is required for elementary, and they will be all busy. So we have nobody to watch middle school staff. Or we have
Oh,
no,
I understand. Yeah, my child is in elementary. He's gonna be in the elementary school.
and
So yeah.
but this parent orientation is exclusively for middle school.
Oh, okay. My sister told me to join. I didn't know it was only for middle school.
No worries. Mrs. Stefania is on this call, but like I said, she will be answering y'all's questions and having an orientation next week.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes, to go back on the elementary, I'm sorry, Ms. Brown.
That's okay.
I will be releasing the whole and sending out the whole information for the parent orientation. I'm just asking for a little bit of time just so that I could finish enrolling all of the kids and make sure that I could send it to all the parents at once so we could all get on the call together. So this would just be for middle school for this orientation. The little information that I could give you for elementary right now is that program would be Monday through Friday from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock. From July 6th to August 20th. We do go a little bit past middle school in time and in dates. The orientation dates and the time will be sent out in a couple of days within the week. So just be checking your emails and you should be receiving something then.
Awesome. Thank you, Mrs. Stefania. Ms. Brown, give me more questions.
I'm trying to get through these as quickly as possible. For Zieda, she's basically saying that her son has his phone and his charger, so will he be able to charge his phone? If need be, he or she can leave their phone with us. We could put on a charger because he's walking home. That wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, we also have iPads that the students will be using for their academics and for activities. And when those iPads are taken out, a lot of iPhones use the same charger. So we have a charging station essentially in our office.
So we have Ed, and Ed is actually a parent from 104. So his question really is what are the logistics for the first day as to what entrance, that kind of thing. He just needs to, I guess, get an overall sense of the school. And also, is there an outdoor space in the back of the building?
Yes. So the entrance is on 4th Avenue and the outdoor space is in the back, but the entrance for the outdoor space is on Ovington. So when you drop your students off, you'll be dropping them off in the front of the school on 4th. But when you pick them up, if you are picking your students up, you will be going around to the side on Ovington.
Our students in the summer program results grade. Oh, I'm sorry, Ed, were you about to say something?
I'm ready.
I was just saying thanks.
Oh.
That's okay.
No problem.
Our students in the summer program results graded.
That's
I don't think we have the answer for that.
Yeah, that's another question that I will write down and ask the principal and the assistant principal. But I don't believe so. I think every single student has already passed their grade, but I will double check.
Mixam, while we are answering questions, do you mind putting in your contact information again?
Absolutely.
For a parent? And I believe this is our last question, unless you guys still have them flowing in the next couple of minutes. One parent is still a little bit lost on the fact of the academic portion. Is this being offered just because, or is it due to their end of year grades? So for my understanding, and Mixam, you can definitely answer this one as well. I believe that because of everything with COVID and like a lot of students were remote, we're just trying to get back to normal. So they are just offering it to everyone. There is recommended, there is mandatory, but I don't think it's based on just your child's academic performance. Because we are partnering up with the DOE, we're kind of just taking everything and everyone and putting it into one. Mixam, do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so we do have students who are recommended. No students are mandated for summer school, but for